WURD Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter. L-O-V-E. What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family, and welcome to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That is where you are. That's where it's at. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and today is Wednesday, April 12th. Every time I say the date, I keep saying, wait a minute, is that right? Is that right? But it is, and here we are in 80-degree weather. Mind you, I am not complaining. That's not what this is. Just recognizing as I look like a child who just went to school on the first day. I promise you this morning, I felt like I was good. But now I feel like I've just come home from school and I look like I've had a whole day of school. That's what I look like. But I hope that you are having a great day. I hope all is coming along well with you and yours, with and for you and yours. And you know, I say it every single show. Every single show, I say this to you. For our family members whose light is shining just a little dimly, I'm sending you some extra love and some extra hugs, because we could all use that every now and again. So, what do we have in store today? Well, let me tell you. We have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest. But I say that. I know. I say all of our guests are wonderful because they are. But today, our guest today, she is a licensed skincare professional and founder of the body care line, Super Glow. Let me get that right, okay? Because I do use the products. Her line of shimmering body care oils and butters started as a personal beauty hack for herself as a professional model who wanted her skin to look good on camera, but also feel just as good about what she was putting on her skin. I have to tell you, you're going to want to know more about this body, but I'm telling you, she is a mainline Philly native who works with her father, renowned jazz bassist Gerald Veasley, and her stepmother, Roxanne Veasley, as curators of the Unscripted Jazz Series, a popular jazz series with events in the area, including a weekly series at South Jazz Kitchen. You all know because I hang out with most of you there. You know, we were just there. You just saw me there the past couple of weeks hanging out in any event. Family, how about this thing? How about that? Vanessa. How are you? You see that? You get a lot of applause, don't you? Welcome. First, just thank you for coming to hang out with us. Thank you so much. Family, for those of you who are joining us on our socials, I forgot to say that. I don't know how, because I have love for you too. We're sending you some extra love too. Raphael, hey there. Hey there. Thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you here. So, I'm continuing I always tell you all, I like to educate myself as much as you. I feel like communication and education are key. And because I love Vanessa and I love her skincare products, I said, well, our family needs to know. They need to know about you and your wonderful products.
Thank
So
you, Carol.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, I tell you all the time because I'm always saying, well, I want to get this for so and so or that for so and so. I do that all the time. But
Yes.
I've been talking, I feel like too much. So please tell our family members a little about you.
Well, one, thank you for having me so much. I started this skincare line, it's body care, shimmering products. The highlight of our lineup is the Super Glow oil, which is a head to toe oil that you can use, even in your hair and on your body, and it leaves like a very nice subtle shimmer. And this is the time of year everybody starts going on vacation and they look
Mhm.
really good on the beach or wherever. So um, we always get a lot of sales for like this is it. People have seen it on social media.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, this is the bronze oil. It comes in bronze, gold, and rose gold. And then we also have the shimmering body butters too, which you've been a customer.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, you know what? You just said something that I don't, well, no, I wasn't aware of because I would have been doing it, but I can use the products in my hair too.
You can.
The oil as well as the body butter.
I wouldn't suggest the butter just because it is like a very strong occlusive. So unless
Okay.
you know your hair very well, but the oil, yes, absolutely.
Wow. So now, I'm going to ask you some questions because I don't have a clue. You are a licensed skincare professional.
Yes.
So what is the difference between a skincare professional and a dermatologist?
Okay, so a dermatologist is a doctor.
Okay,
I
okay.
am an esthetician.
An
So
esthetician. Okay.
yes, yes. So I went to school to focus on skincare. So, and like with cosmetologists, they do a certain amount of hours on skincare.
Hmm.
We go solely for skin. So all of our hours are dedicated toward learning skincare, learning how to treat skin, and also like hair removal and things like that as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was as in depth. And of course, when I think about skin, of course, I'm thinking on the surface. I never really even thought that a skincare professional would handle, like you said, hair removal and things of that nature.
Mhm. So when you go and get like waxed or when you go and get laser hair removal, things like that, you're usually being treated by an esthetician.
And I knew that. I keep saying skincare professional, and of course I'm separating the two because I know what an esthetician it does. I visited myself, of course. Y'all, it's painful going to see y'all.
No, it wasn't always the esthetician. It is painful. It's painful. And during quarantine, people were waxing themselves. I'm like, I don't see how. I don't recommend it.
No, no,
I
no.
don't
What?
recommend
Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm waiting for them to come up with just like another way or a better way. That I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a sensitive area. I don't know if that's even possible, but heavens to Murgatroyd. So, so from where did your interest in skincare come?
I've always had an interest in skincare. Like even when I was little, like you remember those like the poles they used to have down the street to make sure people didn't park up on the sidewalk,
Oh,
like
mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm.
West Philly and South Philly. So on my grandmother's block, when it would rain, those little poles they'd have like water in them, and I remember like playing spa with my friends. Like after there would be like rain, water in those things, and I'd be taking leaves and rubbing it on their faces. Terrible.
Okay, wait. You saw the look
But
on my.
I always like when people were playing, restaurant, I was playing spa. So I always had this interest, but I didn't pursue um, skincare products until I
Mhm.
lived in LA about 10 years ago. And then I didn't become a licensed esthetician until quarantine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Things
That's
slowed
really
down and,
awesome, though.
my sales slowed down almost overnight. They perked up a little bit here and there with, unfortunately, a lot of the civil unrest that was going on in the country led people to do a lot of like Black business lists. So I got some sales from that. But, instead of like twiddling my thumbs or doing like the woe is me thing, like I realized that, people were losing loved ones and like terrible, terrible things were going on during quarantine. I just figured like, what can I do to stay productive? So I just continued my education. And the school that I went to, they had to actually fight to get us some education online because estheticians, most of our hours are done like clinic hours. So they had to kind of rearrange our curriculum so we could do most of it online.
Okay.
And then when restrictions lifted, we were able to go back in and do all the rest of our hours in clinic.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I was wondering just how hands-on you need it to be, wondering why they would fight it. So I imagine a lot of the curriculum includes a lot of hands-on activities. Is that why?
Yes.
Why were they?
Yes. So you're hands-on almost like from day one.
Okay.
But you also have a lot of like textbook things and, quizzes and tests and a lot of theory that you need to learn as well. So what they did was kind of rearrange. So we did all the theory, ahead of time. And then we were able to, when restrictions were lifted, be able to come back in and do both.
Sure.
On people. Yeah, first just on each other because Pennsylvania was kind of just, rolling with the punches. So when we first came back, we were all just working on each other, which sounds like a dream at first because you're getting a facial every day, or you're getting like, a back treatment and this and that every day, but it really tears your skin up to get a facial every day. It's not recommended. But then we were able to open our clinic to outsiders eventually.
Okay, so I'm listening to you say that. I've had facials before, but what exactly is the process of a facial? Typically, you kind of just zone out when you're having services.
Right.
But what does having a facial entail, and why is it? Why wouldn't you recommend having one every day?
So you wouldn't want one every day because the barrier of your skin is very sensitive. You don't want to disrupt that, and you can do that by over cleansing, over manipulating, depending on what type of facial you're getting. It can just be too much for your skin. A lot of times, even like people with their very rigorous skincare routines, and then they come for like a consultation to figure out what's going on with their skin. Sometimes they're doing too much. So it's good to kind of dial back. And my beauty philosophy, everyone has a different one, but mine is definitely more the less is more lane of things. But like when you go get a facial at like, let's just say like a really a nice spa, like in a hotel where everything's more relaxing, those things don't tend to have a lot of actives in it. It's just kind of something designed to make you feel good and walk out maybe with like a nice glow, but it's not designed to maybe remove the top layer of skin or to, over exfoliate or exfoliate properly or things like that. So those aren't too bad, but there are types of facials that you don't want to get too often. And different facials are different. Like, so some are just more just cleaning and observing the skin and deciding what someone needs. And then there are facials that people go in that are targeted for certain things, like whether you're trying to address, acne or hyperpigmentation, things like that.
Okay. When you say hyperpigmentation, can you explain that to me?
So everyone can get hyperpigmentation, but a lot of us girls of color notice it more on our skin. It's, it can be triggered from inflammation or the sun, and, just when you notice that you have uneven skin tone.
There's a treatment for that?
Yeah, there are different ways to address it. And I think the best thing, overall, now I think everybody's getting better about it, but wearing sunscreen, like even us girls of color need sunscreen every day.
I'm glad you said that. I never knew that. I never really knew. I mean, I've heard it in passing, but I don't know really whether I, added any weight to it. But to hear you say that, so sunscreen is good for us as well.
Yes.
For yes. Okay, for girls of color, for people of color.
Yes, for people of color, especially these men out here with the bald heads, you need to be putting sunscreen on that bald head.
Oh my God,
You
every
do
day.
every day, every day.
Wow. So I know nothing about sunscreen, and I see the different SPF levels and what have you.
Mhm.
I never know what I know it has to do with, well, I believe it has to do with protection. Is that correct?
It does have to do with protection. The higher the number, the greater the protection.
Mm-hmm.
But there is sometimes a little misconception about, just putting it on that you don't have to reapply it. No matter how high the number, you'll still have to reapply it. Um,
Oh, you do?
and then, like if you're at the beach or you're in the pool, once you get in the water and you come out, you need to reapply again as well, too.
Oh, hey there, family. If you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You know that's WURD radio.com. We are talking with none other than Vanessa Veasley. She is a licensed skincare professional, aka an esthetician. And I'm asking her all types of questions about her line of work, but she's also one of the curators for one of our most beloved series in the city. You know what I'm talking about. She works alongside her father, Gerald Veasley, and her stepmother, Roxanne Veasley, to curate the unscripted jazz series at South Jazz Kitchen. Let me say the name properly. How about that? South Jazz Kitchen. And
Yeah.
I want to talk about all of that too, but I'm so interested in finding more out about your skincare line and how it came to be, and when you said, like, when the day came that you said, okay, yeah, I need to do something about this. I need to put a line together for myself. But before I dig into all of that, I want to say hello to some more of our family members who are on our socials. Julie, how are you? I'm glad that you're joining us. So glad to have you here. Julie has a question, actually. She asks if you could recommend some protective lotions for babies and toddlers.
Oh,
That's
for
a
babies
great
and
question.
toddlers. That is a great question. So I am a big fan. Some people are not. I am a big, big, big fan of things in drugstores. The reason why is most products that have made it into your drugstore, things like Neutrogena that have been around for a long time, they have
Mhm.
been clinically tested over and over and over again, and they are safe. And
For
that is I know that's the most important thing you're thinking about when you're thinking about taking care of your children's skin. So I do recommend those brands that you would just head right over to your Target aisle. And as long as you're picking like a nice SPF, um, you do want to continue to reapply it when babies are in the sun. And
Well, as you explained, I'm sorry to interject. I'm curious to know, is there a brand that works best for people of color or better for our skin
well, right
that you would
now for
recommend?
people of color, I'm loving Black Girl Sunscreen.
Black
And
girl
that is
sunscreen?
available
Mm.
in Target. The company is called Black Girl Sunscreen.
Would you recommend that for babies and toddlers as well?
I would. And the difference when we talk about skin of color and sunscreen, usually it's more like cosmetic reasons why we prefer certain brands, because when we put it on our skin, some SPF tends to look ashy, especially mechanical sunscreens, which contain mineral agents that bounce the sun off of our skin, versus
Ah,
chemical sunscreens where they kind of like absorb and break down those bad rays. So you want to go for, there are a lot of influencers right now that's their thing. They just test different sunscreens to show, look, this one doesn't make me look ashy, or look, this one
mm.
gets the green light. Um, so that's usually the main concern with us with wearing sunscreen every day. Is there are certain sunscreens that, they sound good, they have great ingredients, but then when you put them on, they leave this cast across your
Hmm.
skin, which is not
So
great.
what is it that we should look for to avoid that ashy look? That
So you do want to do like a chemical sunscreen, which will,
Okay.
a lot of them will say on the bottle, no cast, or in instance, the one I was talking about, Black Girl Sunscreen, it does not leave a cast.
Oh, that's what that means. No cast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, I wouldn't know what they were. Does it
The
explain what that means? I was supposed to. Does it explain on the product what that means? Because I wouldn't know if I,
right.
went to look. I would say, okay, now I don't know what this means. What is that? Like, tell me, family. Hello again. If you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We're talking with Vanessa Veasley. The beginning of our conversation is about skincare. Talking about how to take care of our skin, but we have a lot to talk about. I should say we have a lot to talk about. But we're going to take a short commercial break, so stay with us, okay? Because we will be right back.
Struggling to pay your water or sewer bills? New Jersey's low-income household water assistance program can help you avoid service disruptions, restore services, pay reconnection fees, and stay up to date on payments. Don't get shut off. Apply for the low-income household water assistance program today. Call 211 or visit waterassistance.nj.gov.
Join us this Friday, April 14th, for our new and improved Jackie Robinson Day. This year, we're partnering with the Paul Robeson House and Museum for their street renaming and block party in honor of Paul Robeson's 125th birthday. Come out this Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to celebrate two titans, Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson. We'll be broadcasting live from the block party on 50th Street between Walnut and Sansom, right next to the Robeson House and Museum, located at 4951 Walnut Street. We look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Black Media Matters and Black Media will be heard. On Thursday, April 13th at 7 p.m., hear from Philadelphia mayoral candidates on issues that matter to our community: safety, education, the economy, and more. WURD's Solomon Jones will be joined by journalists from the Philadelphia Tribune, the Sunday Sun, and Fun Times Magazine for a discussion with the candidates, moderated by Andrea Lawful Sanders. This forum takes place at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, 2800 West Cheltenham Avenue. To attend, go to wordradio.com and click the Black Media Matters banner to register. Or tune in live Thursday, April 13th at 7 p.m. on 900 AM, 96.1 FM, wordradio.com, and the Word Radio app. This event is part of Every Voice, Every Vote, a collaborative project of the Lenfest Institute for Journalism, with lead support provided by the William Penn Foundation. Learn more at www.everyvoice-everyvote.org. Editorial content is created independently of the project's donors. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Family, I have something to share with you. Join us this Friday, April 14th, for our new and improved Jackie Robinson Day. This year, we're partnering with the Paul Robeson House and Museum for their street renaming and block party in honor of Paul Robeson's 125th birthday. Come out this Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to celebrate two titans, Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson. We will be broadcasting live from the block party on 50th Street between Walnut and Sansom Streets, right next to the Robeson House and Museum, located at 4951 Walnut Street. We all look forward to seeing you on Friday. Family, we've been talking with Vanessa Veasley. We've started our conversation talking about skincare. And if you've missed it, I've been asking her all types of things about SPFs because I have no knowledge of that stuff. None whatsoever. So she was sharing some things with me. And quite honestly, I have to tell you, I always thought growing up that we, meaning those of the melanated persuasion, didn't need sunscreen. I don't know from where I got that. I'm sure I told myself that, but I always thought we didn't need sunscreen. So listening to you and others say that, yeah, we all do, it is interesting to me because I had no idea that it was a necessary thing. I used to think it was something that people did for just a cosmetic thing, something that, people just did. But now I
Yeah,
see that
so
it's really protective.
it is. And but you made a good point because, right now we are in a time when a lot of people are focused on, cosmetic things. Like they want their skin to look good. They're putting these different products on to make sure, that their skin glows or their skin, their acne disappears and things like that. But most things will be better, work better when you are protecting your skin from the sun. A lot of products that exfoliate or strip the skin, definitely you need sunscreen. Like if you're using a toner that has like glycolic acid in it, lactic acid, things like that, you need to wear sunscreen because whatever you think you're doing to correct certain concerns that you have in your skin, you're going to undo that by basically walking into the sun and kind of undoing those same things that you're trying to correct. So for cosmetic reasons, that is one of the reasons why we do want to wear sunscreen. But also, Black people do get skin cancer. We do. The science is we'll have people arguing about it, but we don't get it as much as other people. But when we get a much more aggressive form. And so it's very important that we wear it. And there is a dichotomy because they say, we need sun. People of color tend to have like a vitamin D deficiency sometimes, and the sun is the way that we get that. So you'll have people saying like, oh, melanated people, we don't need sunscreen, but everything in moderation, right? If you're going to be out in the sun, if you're going to be sitting in your window on your computer for most of the day, you need sunscreen. Like even if you don't go out the house, but you're exposed to the sun's rays for extended periods of time, you need to put sunscreen on.
And I just heard you mention toner. I'm going to tell you, I'm sure I don't have the best skincare regimen because I have toner, I buy it,
But
but I
your
never
skin is
use it.
amazing.
Well, God bless you for that. But thank you. But I know I buy toner, never use it. Should I? I mean, really, what would you say a good skincare regimen should be? I know water. I know I'm supposed to drink my water.
And you have people that have like 3-step skincare routines, and you have people that have like the 17-step Korean skincare routines. I'm somewhere in the middle, and I think like you're a great testament to, everyone doesn't need a 12-step routine. Like sometimes it feels good. It can feel like self-care, like if the ritual of it can be great, but not everybody's skin needs, a whole lot of different products. But most skincare routines, I recommend like them to be heavier at night as far as like more steps. But you want to cleanse, you want to tone, you want to exfoliate, and you want to tone in between all of the steps. And what toner does is it basically like, just brings your skin back to its pH. So, but there are hydrating toners, and then there are toners that have actives in them. So when I talk about like, if you're using like a certain type of toner that maybe has like lactic acid or glycolic acid in it, you definitely need to wear sunscreen, because those toners have ingredients that, are exfoliating your skin chemically. So you want to protect your skin after that. But a hydrating toner like, rose water is not really doing the same thing. So there are different types of toners.
So something just came to mind. Well, I have two questions actually. One, you're talking about toner. So you mentioned hyperpigmentation earlier. Does using toner help in any way with hyperpigmented
It
skin?
depends. See, is it like another thing? It depends on the toner. Like there's some toners that have ingredients that can address those kind of concerns. But it would more so go to your overall routine. And when people like ask for specific products, sometimes you might just need to go get like a consultation, because you'll need to examine the products you're already using, and then maybe the products that you need to add or switch out.
So you really need to know what you're looking for when you're buying these products. I just kind of pick things
And it can get confusing. I think most estheticians that I talk to, we have group chats and Facebook groups and everything. A lot of the times you'll see people come in and they're doing too much. That's a lot of times the problem, that they're using too many products and doing too many things, and less is more.
So what is your what would you say about, well, I use what's that? An astringent oftentimes. Well, typically, like when I have this whole process that I do to remove makeup, because if I leave anything in my skin, that's it. I will look like an adolescent. But I have to use an astringent to make sure I really, really clean my skin, like after, several makeup removing processes. But I know they can sometimes dry your skin out.
Yes.
What would you suggest as I guess another step after using an astringent? Is there something I can do to maintain or to get the moisture back?
If you were really, really married to that astringent, because my first recommendation would be to use something other than that.
Okay.
To remove your makeup, like an oil cleanser.
Well, no. I do that first. It's the last thing that I do to make sure I have everything out of my skin. Because I mean, really, if I don't, but get rid of the
one thing I do want to say, because I think we are from the generation where, like, you want to be squeaky clean, like literally that. Yeah. But that squeaky clean is actually like your skin's barrier being disrupted. So we don't want to take all the oils out of our skin. Like, oil is good. Oil helps us maintain our youth. Oil is good. So, but I get it, because you're on stage a lot and you are wearing, the makeup that you wear on stage is not necessarily the makeup that you wear, every day, or, if at all. So if you need to do that extra step to just make sure that you get everything off, then you would want to bring it back with like a hydrating toner, and then a moisturizer. And then at night, you'd want to use like an occlusive. Remember, like our grandmothers or mothers used to put Vaseline on their face before they go to bed.
I was just about to ask.
That's actually like it's something that's coming back. We're really kind of coming back to basics, but a great occlusive like Vaseline or like CeraVe's healing ointment kind of locks everything in, locks the moisture in, and helps restore your barrier overnight. And you wake up with a very nice glow.
I love Vaseline on my skin. I've gotten accustomed to using grapeseed oil. I love grapeseed oil. I've gotten so accustomed to using that, but yeah, I used to use Vaseline a lot, and then I kept hearing people say, "Oh, it's going to clog your pores. It's going to clog your pores." So then that was why I moved to grapeseed oil, which I love. But family, let me I've gotten carried away with conversation. If you have just joined us, you're tuned into Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Hey there to our family members on our socials. I love it when you join the conversation. Hi there, Nasir. Hey there, Joey. Just so happy that you all are joining us. And family, for those of you who are interested in calling in to join the conversation, please feel free to do so. You can do so by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I want to remind those of those fellas out there. I don't know if you heard Vanessa say it earlier, but you all should, those of you who have those bald heads, those beautiful bald heads, she was explaining that you all should be using some sunscreen as well. Listen, I told you I had no idea. I'm out here just, I don't know. I'm on a wing and a prayer. Praise God that, what they say, God takes care of the babies and fools. I must be, I don't know which one of the two I am, but but he's taking care of me with my skin.
Yeah.
So thank you, God, for that. But just to let you know, because I know, some of the fellas that I know, there are some men that I know that have skincare regimens, but there are a lot that I know that don't. They say, well, I don't know I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know where to begin. But do they make, well, I imagine they do make skincare,
They do.
I'm sure they do make a lot of
Yeah,
skincare products for men. Now,
they
my
do.
family, I know what some of you are saying. Why would she say that? Well, that's because she never looked. That's why she said that. But
And a lot of men just steal our skincare. So
how about
all
that?
I get emails from customers that'll be like, I thought that because this product had shimmer in it that my husband wouldn't steal it, but guess what? I need another one
No.
I mean, men steal.
No, well, okay. Let me plug. Let me do this because I'm going to do the commercial for you for Super Glow. So let me tell you, family, everybody who is within earshot, all of you who are watching. So I use Vanessa's products and I gift them. I gift them as well because I love the products. I love the butter. I started with the butter. I have one jar left of my butter and I'm holding on to. You should see me with my little fingernail trying to scrape the. I said, just get another one. Just get another one. In any event, though, the oil, I am addicted to this oil. I love the oil. And even though you heard her say it does have a slight shimmer to it, but it looks so good on our skin. It does. I don't care what complexion you are on the spectrum. It looks so good because I gave about 5 of my girlfriends. I've given and they love it. They're all like, okay, I don't know. I love this. And because I'd never seen anything like it before either. It's just the right pop. It brings out the natural, because our skin glistens anyway. So it brings out that natural glow in our skin. And I love that. I love, love, love that. So men, I'm telling you, if there are any of you out there saying, what? I'm not putting any glitter on. Let me tell you something. Super Glow. You won't feel that way about Super Glow. You won't feel that way. I promise you, you won't feel that way about Super Glow. I promise. But no, seriously. But I want to know. So you said when you were modeling, you said, okay, I need something different. I need something. Was it something better, something different, something like what was your thought
Yeah.
process?
So when I first started modeling when I was a teenager, and then the types of modeling I did evolved as I got older and I got thicker, curvier, whatever. So I did a lot of music videos and like magazines, and I also did fitness at one point, like competitive fitness. And one thing that the girls used to do, we'd be backstage like spraying Pam on ourselves, like the cooking oil, because it would go on evenly. Once you already had your bikini on, you would spray the Pam on you, and it would make your leg muscles pop, and and then you didn't have to rub it in, and all that. So that was like one thing a lot of people were doing. But then when I transitioned into doing more things like in studio, I felt silly, I wasn't going to bring olive oil spray on the set. And I also, you look at the ingredients and you're like, I don't know if I do want all of this on my skin. And this was before I was an esthetician. So a lot of those long words, now they're not as scary, but I was like, I don't want all of this, on my skin. There has to be something better that I can do that will be shimmery and look good. And there's this one product at the time that a makeup brand made, and they were like a drugstore makeup brand. And they had this, it was called, it's like Tiger something, but it was gold. It was like a little pot of gold and bronze cream, and it left this really nice shimmer, and then they discontinued it. And
that always happens.
So
that always happens to me.
And then the Tom Ford oil, that was out of, I wasn't going to, it was like this big for $50 at the time, like 1 or 2 ounces. And I was like, okay, I would go through too many of those. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to just go. At the time I went to Whole Foods and got like, I did some research, went to Whole Foods, got like all of my little oils and tinkered around and made something that really worked for me. And then I went online and sourced suppliers and found a way to do it more economically for myself and, with whole products. And then it turned into like, oh, well, can you make some for me? Other models, can you make some for me? And then can you make a basket for my mom for Mother's Day? Okay, can you do this? And I'm like, okay, hold up. I'm going to have to actually charge you guys, and I'm going to have to really turn this into a business to make it worth my while.
Well, I'm glad you did.
I'm glad I did too.
I'm going to interrupt you for one moment because family, when we come back, Vanessa says she has something special that she wants to talk with us about as it pertains to Super Glow. Stay with us because we will be right back.
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program, and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up. Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
I'm Carol Riddick, the host of Love and Life, and I'm moving to a new time. And guess what, family? I will be live. That's right. I can speak with you about the real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual and committed relationships. Join me Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. beginning Monday, April 3rd. The conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness. So join me Monday through Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
This is your celebration.
I'm Jonathan Stiles from the Museum of the American Revolution, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. At the Museum of the American Revolution, we believe that a more inclusive history is a more accurate history, and we so appreciate how WURD has allowed us to reach different communities, to share that message, and engage with us in the work that we're doing. So happy birthday, WURD. You're doing incredible work. Thank you so much for how you're serving the Philadelphia community.
Hello, I'm Mark Gaines from New York City, originally from Philadelphia, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary. This is an amazing accomplishment and something that I think the community really needs, and something that will build a foundation for generations to come. I stand with WURD on the 20th anniversary now and forever, and future anniversaries to come. Special shout out to Sarah Lomax, who is continuing this legacy of my grandfather, and I hope to someday be a part of it, help WURD grow as well. Again, congratulations.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. You know I'm going to say it. That's WURDradio.com. I like to tell you that. I don't know why. In any event, thank you for joining us this evening. We're talking with Vanessa Veasley. I'm asking her all types of questions about skincare before we start talking about the series that she curates with both her father and stepmother, Gerald Veasley and Roxanne Veasley, at South, because we're going to talk about all of that too. But I want to say thank you to Cheryl. Hey there, Cheryl. Cheryl says, good evening, Carol, Kayla, and the WURD family. Hello there, Cheryl, and thank you for joining us. Before the break, I was explaining to you all that Vanessa has something she wants to talk with us about as it pertains to her company and her product, Superglow. But before we do so, I want to go to the phones because one of our family members is on the line waiting to talk with us. Ron, are you there?
Yes. Hello, Cal, and hello,
Hi.
ma'am.
Hi, Ron.
Yes, I want to talk about myself. I'll be 80 in July if the Lord let me live. My skin is cleaner than a baby's behind. I have the process. I'm very fortunate to have good skin. And even as a man my age, I take care of my whole body. I take and saute my body. I do my nails from the bottom of my feet. I do it with my hands. I drink water. I do all that. But when I was a child, I remember these things. At 6 years of age, the lady that raised me, she used to wash my face in my urine. I told some other people that, and she used to do that. I don't know if I had a little ringworms, but she used to do that, wash all around my neck, all under my arms, everything I'm doing. Then she would put me in one of the big tin tubs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very fortunate to have good genes. A man my age, I don't have a lot of gray hair. It's not because you get old. It is a genetic thing. But you can do things to enhance yourself. All my clothes I have, when I put my clothes on, I don't put the same clothes on. I have a steamer, or either I take them to the cleaners. And I found out because of the cleansing process, and in particular with men, it is a certain way that you can cleanse in between your body and all that stuff, and, to sit there. And I remember also she used to have what they would call these, these mint leaves. And she used to put me in that tub and put these leaves inside the tub there and wash my body down in that. And from those years all the way up into now, I've been doing that process. Cleansing is a very big part of the health. And also what goes in plays a part, what goes in comes out. And I know with your diets, I want to talk very respectfully. And I find out that I know one time when I had my hip replacement, when they give you the medicine, ma'am, when they give you the medicine in your urine, that medicine it gives your urine a different stench about it. So what mine does, I constantly cleanse myself. And even with the food that you consume in your body, and I noticed that when I go to do that part of the process, I find out what you put in, it have all of it plays a connection. And at the age I am, I'm feeling real good. The only problem I have just a little arthritis because of playing basketball and stuff like that. And then your mental attitude. I meditate all the time, and ma'am, and it's very important. The products that you use, as you're mentioning, when you take your bath to wash under your arms, it is a process. I know everybody don't have the time I have to do that, but I've been very fortunate through the years to go through that process, and I'm feeling real good. And because of it, I have high energy to be. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things, not bragging anything. And I'm feeling very good at the age I am. And the other part of my process, ma'am, as a child, some people have things that they can see. They have seen that. And I cry a lot, man. And people will, why you're a man? No. It's cleansing. It releases a lot of little
toxins.
And then again, when you take inventory, your life feels so much better. And I'm very fortunate. It is kind things that cause Ryan to be where I'm at today. And I thank him for that. And all the nice persons that I met. And your father, that name sounds very familiar with me. Did your dad, did he ever perform at the Club?
Yes.
That's my question. Huh?
Yes.
Oh, I meant the guy that made the record. Whoa, 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 whoa! I need your love in every day. I don't know if it's down on Fitzwater Street. I think right to the border of Fitzwater. So perhaps I probably seen him because when I was young, a lady took me to a play, and Pharoah Sanders, the creator, have a message, something like that. They brought me an album. So music, good food, and positive, thinking positive, man, it really can make a difference in your life. Hopefully, because it has certainly done that to me. And Carol, your show is just wonderful, from healthcare now to skincare taking, and with that, it's all about healing. Look at some of the remedies that the elders have done with us. It really made a difference. So thank you, Carol. I continue to listen. And as I listen, I'm constantly still learning. And the Bible talks about, he that have an ear to hear, let them hear. So may both of y'all females be blessed in your life. And you know this, man. You and Carol know this. The females in particular, only the female can rock in the bosom. I say these things because that's true. Make yourself precious in life. Because you're not taking nothing when you're here. But when you feel good, you'll treat other people good. Thank you very much, man. Both of y'all.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. So, Ron, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate you and your words, and I'm hoping I speak for you as well, Vanessa. We both appreciate you and for you contributing to the conversation. You know, one thing Ron said, he said that the woman that cared for him, he mentioned urine. And my aunt, one of my aunts, I remember when I was a little girl, I was so little, and she was talking to me about the different, she was talking to me about urine and how, you know, some of our older family members use urine for different things, different purposes. And it was, well, you know, when you're a kid, everything is just, it just sounds absurd to you.
Right.
But when I tell you, she told me that she said, yeah, well, what I do know is that some people used to drink their own urine to alleviate like toxins in their body. And she said, you'd really be surprised. Now I know, family, I know some of you are saying, Carol, what are you talking about? What are you saying? What are you talking about? But you'd really be surprised, as Ron just said, and as I'm agreeing with some of the things that our relatives and our ancestors did and used, you know, that were really effective, that were really, really, really effective.
Yeah, so I think that's always an interesting topic because there are, like, at the root of a lot of those old school remedies, there is real science. In urine, there is a substance called uric acid. And what that can do, it can do a multitude of things, including like softening the skin or addressing certain skin concerns. So you'll hear like people saying that they would take a baby's diaper and put it over like their diaper rash or like some other type of rash on the skin, and it would clear up. I know that is a thing that, you know, people swear by or swore by. But now we do have products where we can now synthesize that same chemical in laboratories, you know, and put it into products where, you know, now you don't have to worry about what else might be in your urine, right? Because our diet is not our ancestors' diet. Our environment is not our ancestors' environment. So maybe, you know, something that seemed way more, you know, sterile back then might be problematic now. So, you know, it's kind of a nuanced topic, but just know that at the root of those remedies, there are things now that we have carried over into the modern times where, you know, we can, so like you can go on, you even go on Amazon and just put in search uric acid, and you'll see all these creams that you can use on your feet, on rough skin, rough elbows. And it basically uses that same substance, but now it's synthesized.
That's, you know, it's interesting we're talking about this. I'm sorry to interject. I want to make mention that Zen has joined the room and the conversation. Zen writes that I heard that urine was sterile in the Army. Some of the troops drink it in the survival runs. Yeah, you know, I've had this, like I said, when I was younger, my aunt used to tell me about this. And of course, when you're young, everything sounds absurd. But in my adult life, I have some, you know, a much better understanding of the uses and things that were done. But I'm sorry,
Right.
I interrupted
No,
you,
no, no.
Vanessa.
And that's great. And it is true to an extent. You know, if I'm stranded on a boat in the middle of the ocean, yeah, I'll probably drink my own urine. But I wouldn't recommend it, you know, just on your day-to-day health routine. I wouldn't. But you know, there are points that are being made. Yes.
Right. But like you said too, you know, our diets are different now than what our ancestors' diets were. Cheryl, hey there. Cheryl Brown is saying hello to you, Vanessa. What we're going to do right now, because I got away from it because we were talking with Ron. I got away from the announcement that Vanessa was going to make, but what we are going to do, we're going to take this commercial break, and when we come back, Vanessa has something special for you. So we will come back right after this break. Stay with us, family.
Yo, this is King Earner coming to you guys live and direct. If you're looking for a home care agency with honor, then Good Brothers Home Care fits the bill. And besides the honor, Good Brothers have great pay, benefits, and experienced caregivers. So if you're in the need of home care services or would like to transfer to an agency, contact us at 215-874-9300. That's 215-874-9300, or hit us up on the web at goodbrothershomecare.com.
Join us this Friday, April 14th, for our new and improved Jackie Robinson Day. This year, we're partnering with the Paul Robeson House and Museum for their street renaming and block party in honor of Paul Robeson's 125th birthday. Come out this Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to celebrate two titans, Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson. We'll be broadcasting live from the block party on 50th Street between Walnut and Sansom, right next to the Robeson House and Museum, located at 4951 Walnut Street. We look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Mother was very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign and she wasn't even really sure where she was at.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
WURD Radio is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older. Depending on the contest, persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employee are ineligible to win prizes. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media, we're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are at the top of the second hour of the show. Vanessa, I know you're saying, what? It's been an hour already? I know.
It's flying by. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting it to.
I know. Well, family, we've been talking about skincare. We've been talking about so many things as it pertains to skincare, because Vanessa is an esthetician. But not only is she an esthetician, she also curates one of our most beloved series in the tri-state area. How about that? She curates, along with her father, Gerald Veasley, and her stepmother, Roxanne Veasley, the Unscripted Jazz series, which takes place at South Jazz Kitchen. And we're going to talk all about that. But Vanessa said, Carol, I'm excited to be here. And she said, I really want to do something special for the WURD family members. So with that, I leave it to you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me again. And I just wanted to extend to all of your viewers, listeners, a promotion. If you use the code LOVE at checkout, it's superglowOil.com. We're Superglow Oil on all social media platforms. Use the code LOVE at checkout and you'll get 30% off of all orders of any size.
I love that. Superglowoil.com, was it?
Yes.
So that's superglowOil.com.
Yes.
And you will receive 30% off of your purchase. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you for that. I want to go back to our socials and say hello to Gary. Gary Bryant is joining us. Hey there, Gary. He says, good evening, WURD family. So Vanessa, okay, let's talk about Unscripted Jazz, the Unscripted Jazz series. Now, I mean, of course, family, we've spent time there together. But how long has the Unscripted Jazz series been taking place, SL?
7 years.
It's been 7 years already.
7 years, yes. Wait.
Okay.
2014, October 2014.
How did it even come about?
Well, it was actually the brainchild of my beautiful stepmother, Roxanne Veasley.
Roxy!
They had done, my father and stepmother had worked with the Bynum brothers in the past at their other venues. And when they, heard about South being built and coming to be, they reached out and said, let's just do something. It was going to be like a nice special event for like one weekend. And then it turned into, another weekend and then a weekly series. And now it's just a beautiful, beautiful partnership.
Now, here we are.
Yes.
A family, you know what? While we're continuing this conversation about the Unscripted Jazz series, I want to make sure that if any of you have any questions or any comments or anything that you'd like to share, you can feel free to do so by calling 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I want to make sure, because I don't know. There may be some questions that you have that I did not ask, and you may want to know more about Superglow, or you may want to know something about Unscripted that I've not yet asked. But so the idea came about. You said, well, let's try this. Roxanne said, let's try this. And now here we are 7 years later, as you said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's such a special series.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah. Because, most of the artists that we bring in are playing with my father and his band. So, they're people that he's, already worked with, or, people that he has great respect for. It's very carefully curated. So it's not, just like who can, sell out a room. It's more about, bringing special music to the city, keeping live music alive in the city of Philadelphia and keeping jazz alive.
That's the thing I love the most about the Unscripted Jazz series, because it's family, it's home. Mm-hmm. When you go to any one of the shows, now family, if you've been to any one of the shows, when you go, and it doesn't even matter if you know the artist that is playing. It doesn't matter. When you go, you're at home. You get some good food. You get some great conversation. You get some good laughs, because, well, if you're anything like I am, because I talk to everybody around me and share my food and everything. So,
that cornbread.
You hear me? I better share that cornbread. Listen, that's what I'm going to look like if I don't share that cornbread. I'm already walking around here. Heavens to Murgatroyd. But it is a good time. It's a great experience. Like I said, you hear some wonderful music. Like you go to another place when you go to South. And I'm saying that not as an artist that has performed there, but as a patron.
Yes, you've been a guest many times.
I like to go. I'm like, no, I'm coming down. I'm just coming to hang. I'm coming to hang. And I love that. I love the atmosphere. Because, like I said, whether you know the artist or not, because there have been times where I didn't know the artist, but I wanted that feeling. I wanted to be in that atmosphere. I wanted to have a good time, have a good meal, and meet some good people. Just be in the company of some good people.
Yes.
So you guys, I cannot believe it's been 7 years though.
I
What
can't
I
believe
what
it either.
I
I
can
mean,
so here's
1
the
year is
thing.
almost kind of missing in there because of
The
COVID, but
obvious, right?
still, though, yeah.
But even with that, because we were able to do some things, just a few things outdoors, which was
Mhm.
helpful to keep the momentum. It
Yeah.
actually helped to keep the momentum. But I'm thinking, like, how do you all? Because that sounds like a big machine, like trying to curate this, and this is every week. It's not like it's every couple of months, or it's like how do you keep that machine going?
I mean, really, so much of the credit, all of the credit goes to Roxanne. She's a beast. She's a beast with it. Just the organization, just uh, thinking ahead, thinking forward. Already like
Mhm.
we're already looking forward to 2024. Um, we just keep it moving. And I do more of the like on-site things. So when you see me, I know some of your viewers may have seen me if they come in the South on a Thursday, Friday, whenever we have a show. I make sure that things kind of run smoothly the day of, and
Mhm.
everybody gets their seat, and any problems, if we should have a little tiny problem, they get handled. And I yeah, it is a machine. It is a machine, but
Yes.
we keep it well oiled, yes. And
It's
it's
a
so much
huge
fun.
machine.
Honestly, it's fun. It's fun to connect with people. It's fun to make everyone happy, to provide a safe space for people to come to. Every now and then I get women that come up to me and they're like, you know what, I wasn't going to come out because my friend couldn't come, or,
Mhm.
whatever. And I decided to just come, and I had such a good time. I met the people behind me, or, I've met the people sitting next to me. And, there aren't too many things for people our age to do. They're in this city. For people 35 plus, there really isn't a whole
Mhm.
lot, that feels safe.
Mhm.
And
That
it's
feels
a safe,
good.
safe space. It's something that's fun. It's a great night out. It's a great date night, but it's also a great solo night or girls' night.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
and I go by well, you all know that I'm single. So I take myself out, and we me, myself, and we have a wonderful time.
Yes.
We have a wonderful time. Family, I want to say hello to our family members that are joining us on our socials. Rowena, hey, 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 hey there. It's so good to see you here once again. Thank you for joining us. Nasir is still joining us. Nasir is still here with us. So glad to have all of our family members joining the conversation. Listen, if you, family, are on social media and you're watching and you're saying, okay, what's going on? What's happening? Drop us a line. Say hi to us. If you have a question, feel free to share your question on Facebook with us. We will answer all the questions. We do our best to do so. And if you didn't hear me say so earlier, you can also call us if you have a question or a comment. You can do so by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We're talking with Vanessa Beasley. She is the daughter of world-renowned bassist Gerald Beasley, jazz bassist Gerald Beasley, the one and only. And she, along with Gerald and his wife, Roxanne Beasley, curate the unscripted jazz series at South that we love, love, love to go to. So, family, I was just there. Was it 3 weeks in a row? I was
Allison
one was
Williams,
yes,
Kim Kindergartner.
yes, and
Amazing shows, by the way. And your show.
oh, we
And your
they were
show.
wait,
Yeah.
I had a ball because my show was, I was the first, the week before. It wasn't even me. It was the Nina project. We did
Yes.
Nina.
Amazing.
So we did the Nina Simone tribute. And then the following week, I came back to support my girl, Kim Pendergarner. And then the week after that, I came back to support my other girl, Allison. I mean, I just had a ball. I just had
It's
a
a beautiful
wonderful
Women's Month. Yes.
Yes, it was a great way to celebrate Women's Month. Such a
Mm-hmm.
great way to celebrate Women's Month. It was a fitting tribute, I'll say. And speaking of supporting and I mean Kim, her tribute to Phyllis Hyman.
Yes.
It was flawless.
Beautiful.
It was flawless. And Allison can do no wrong. But I want to take a moment because one of our family members is joining us on the phones. Gary, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Hello.
I wanted to ask your guest, does she remember Woodbine Academy?
Woodbine Academy. Oh, that would be my younger sister.
Okay, that's what I thought. Well, anyway, that's where I thought it was the case, but that's where I got my connection with Gerald Beasley. My son is a bass player, and he got my son started. Actually, my son went to his bass boot camp a couple of times.
Oh,
and I know Gerald. I know his name is Marcus Bryant. I know Gerald very well, and
wow.
One of his members, Lee. I forget Lee's last name, but yes. So I just wanted to call in and say hello, and I just want to say I thank your father for getting my son really connected.
Oh wow, that is so.
That's awesome.
So your son plays bass. Your son is a bassist.
Yes, he does. My son went to the University of the Arts. Now he's still matter of fact, he got an award last year at I forget the name of the cafe around 30th and Walnut as a new up and coming artist. So he's still working at it, and he's doing some teaching.
That's awesome.
Congrats. That is congratulations. Congrats to you. Congrats to him, but congrats to you as well.
Oh yeah, but I really just wanted to call in and just publicly thank Gerald for what he did for my son, because that's where I met him. They were both in that private school up near St. Joe, and that's where we connected at.
Wow.
So I just want to say thank you so much to your dad.
Thank you. I will pass that to him. I will. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for that. Thank you for calling. Vanessa, I can only, I don't know if I can. I can't imagine. So what is that like working with your dad and Roxanne?
So growing up, because people a lot of times will say, like, what is it like for Gerald Beasley to be your father? Well, I only have one dad, so I can't compare it to anything else,
Right.
And when I was really little, I really didn't know what he did. One time, like, my dad was visiting my elementary school, and the teacher was like, we heard what you do, and it'd be great if you could come and do something for the class. And my dad's thinking, like, yeah, I'll bring my guitar, do something. And she's like, oh, guitar? And he's like, yeah, I play the bass. And she's like, oh, Vanessa said you're a magician, because I couldn't pronounce musician.
Oh, Lord.
So I just told everyone, my dad's a magician.
Well, he is. Your dad is a magician. If you've seen him play, then you know. Yes, he does. He does make magic. So he is a magician.
And, growing up, I did, come to understand what he did. And, he took me on, we went a couple of different tours. I went to Spain with him when I was a teenager. When I was young, I went to California, hung out at Joe Zawinul's house, things that just seemed like a normal childhood to me. Now I realize the gravity of those things and the what he exposed me to is really super cool. And now working with him, my dad's my best friend. So I have so much fun and so much respect for what he does. And I love watching him zone out when he gets on stage and goes to that other dimension.
That's exactly what he does. And the impact that he has, he does. But the impact that he has on other people, as we've just heard Mr. Bryant say, as Gary just shared with us, just knowing and seeing and hearing from other people the impact that he has on them, that has to be an amazing feeling.
He's a good man, you know.
He is.
Not only a good father, he's a good man. And it feels good when you can say that, you know, and know it.
Mm-hmm.
Not just hope it, but know it. You know, I know my father is a good man. He's also a man of God, you know. So he gives great advice. He's awesome. He's awesome in every way possible. So I'm very,
You were
very
saying
glad.
he's your. I'm so sorry. Every time I think you're done, I keep getting ready to say something.
I was done.
You know, well, family, this is what we do anyway. When we're together, this is what we do. We kiki and we get the giggling and talking. But you know, and I can say when you said, "Well, my dad is my best friend," well, yes, he is. The two of them are hilarious. The two of them together, you two are hilarious. They really, really are. They are best friends, and I love to see that though. I love, love, love that because I was, you know, my dad. I tell you, when I see the two of you together, it makes me think of my father. Because my father, well, you remember, my dad was my roadie. My parents were, my mother and father were my.
Yes.
They were it, but my dad was my roadie. He said, "All right, babe, where we going?" You know, he didn't, and he was just there, and we would go.
Yes.
So it always feels good to see the two of you together and to see the relationship that you have. You feel it. You really do feel it when you see the two of you together. I love, love, love. And Roxanne, you and
Yes.
Roxy, I love the relationship that you all have as well. I know I hate the word step anything.
You
But
know, and me too. I always like, you know, like I'll call her my bonus mom. I mean, she's my mom. You know, she's been my parent. You know, since I was a young preteen. So, you know, I have three parents, and they are all responsible for the woman I am today. You know, so I love them all so much.
I love that. So
a
I want to
force.
go back to the unscripted jazz series. Were you working with Gerald and Roxanne from the beginning when they first started doing it?
I was.
Oh my!
And I don't even remember how. I think I know, you know, they asked me to help out, and then yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I'm seriously
no.
I'm saying this. I'm saying this because you know, I would see you and we hang out with it, but it just became a point where I know as the machine got bigger and there was more going on and more for each of you to do, I would just see you. You know, I would just see you and you are handling it. You are holding it down. And in my mind, I feel like, oh no, Vanessa just came on board like a couple years ago. And then you're like, no, I was there from day one.
From
But
day one.
And I know that's how things appear too. When you know, when you start seeing someone do more of something, you're like, oh no, they just came on board. It just appears that way. But it's interesting. 7 years, and you've been there all along, and here I am. And you know that's sad because I've been there. That's so sad. So let me ask you this: how did you all sit down and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Did you break it down, like as it pertained to responsibility? Because I know, like I said, family, when you go and you see it come together, you see the show taking place, like it just looks like it's so simple and easy, and I know it is not. There's so many moving pieces.
Yeah, it is not. So like I said from the beginning, I've always been more of you know, the on-site person. So even when we're not at South, when we're at other venues, you know, I make sure that, you know, the band gets everything that they need, that our featured artist gets everything that they need, that the shows begin and end on time. I even just came back from Berks Jazz Festival. I did the same thing for the Midnight Jams, you know, which was crazy.
I know it was.
I know, like, when you're watching it, it seems like it just kind of flows, but there's someone running around behind stage trying to figure out who's going on stage next, what they can do, and that's me.
Yes. But you're also the person too. I know because I know, like typically when you go to, like, let's say take South for example, you go and you see you. So you're the person handling the calls if somebody's running late or somebody can't make it or somebody, and that's not even specifically as it pertains to the artists, that's the guests that are coming as well. So you're the person running around. And that's what I was saying, like breaking down those responsibilities. Did you all say, okay, well, I'll do this, or I'll take this on, or did you all just pull on your own individual strengths to determine what it would be for you?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's kind of assumed that, as things came about that we needed to handle, if it was something that was taking place at, the venue, then that would fall more under me. And if it's something that, has to do more with like sales, driving sales, marketing, things like that, then it would be more Roxanne. And we both work in tandem to make sure that, even though Dad is doing a lot of heavy lifting as well, that on, the days of, he gets to be an artist, because that's important too. He's juggling more than one hat, not just with, being an artist in Jazz Philadelphia, but with Unscripted, wearing the hat of, curator as well. So,
I have to say, you all are an amazing family. You really, and I'm not saying that because I know and love you all to pieces. I'm saying that because it's true, because you are, the way you all work together, the way, and mind you, ladies and gentlemen, family members, if you are watching, you're looking at Vanessa, that smile right there is what you see when you get there, and it's the smile you see the entire time you're there. And then when you leave, and that's as it pertains to all three of them. When I see you, Gerald and Roxy, you all are so warm. Family, we're talking with Vanessa Veasley, daughter of world-renowned jazz bassist Gerald Veasley, and we are talking about right now South, but we are going to go back to talking about her skincare line as well. But we're going to take a short commercial break right now, okay? But we'll be right back, so stay with us.
WURD Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey. Brought to you by Comcast.
As the weather gets warmer and pandemic numbers stay low, we can expect travel to be on everyone's must-do list this year. So if you are heading out of town, think about saving these things on your smartphone for safekeeping. Take pictures of your passport, driver's license, or other identification. Make sure you have digital copies of your itinerary, tickets, and reservation numbers. A photo of your credit cards and bank cards could also come in handy if your wallet is lost or stolen. Membership numbers for things like AAA and photos of your medications are also a good thing to have on hand. You can take photos of all this information and easily store it in a locked note on your smartphone or in an online folder on a service like Dropbox. But whatever you do, make sure you have all your important info stored somewhere safe before you hit the road. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Join us this Friday, April 14th, for our new and improved Jackie Robinson Day. This year, we're partnering with the Paul Robeson House and Museum for their street renaming and block party in honor of Paul Robeson's 125th birthday. Come out this Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to celebrate two titans, Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson. We'll be broadcasting live from the block party on 50th Street between Walnut and Sansom, right next to the Robeson House and Museum, located at 4951 Walnut Street. We look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters, like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
What are you waiting for?
If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90 or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Hey there, family, joining us on our socials. We're always happy to have you. Hi, Joanne. So glad that you are joining us as well. So glad to have all of you here with us. Those of you who are watching, those of you who are listening, family, if you have a comment or a question, or if there's anything you want to share with us, I'm encouraging you to do so. You can do so by calling us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900, or you can also just send us a message on our socials because we love that too. Now, family, earlier I was talking with Vanessa about her skincare line, Super Glow. I love that. I love that. She shared with us, and I'm going to ask her to share again, the website, but she also said that she wanted to share some love with everybody. So she's offering a coupon code if there are any products you want to get. I'm telling you, you do. That oil, the oil. But Vanessa, I leave it up to you. If you would share your website again with our family members,
the website
please.
is superglowOil.com, superglowOil.com. And please use the word love at checkout. Coupon code love at checkout will give you 30% off on any order of any size.
I love that. You know what? One thing I didn't ask you about when we were talking about your products. So you said you felt inspired by a product that you used to use. Were you inspired by the texture, or was it the glitter? Was it and when I say glitter, because I don't want the men to say, oh no, I don't know glitter. No. It's not like that. It's a natural enhancement to the glow that our skin already has.
And it's available.
That's how I would describe it
too. Just so and I wasn't even, this was a new thing. Like I think we just added that this year, that on the drop down menu you can order the oil without shimmer too.
Okay.
So it'll still leave that very nice glow, but without the shimmer. But
the extra pop.
Men still buy the shimmer all the time. But yeah, I was inspired by the effect that product had. Because when I put it on and then I took photos, like whatever little things that I was hoping to camouflage were gone. And so, when we talk about my modeling, this is before Instagram. This is when retouching was very expensive. It was I started before digital photography was even a thing. So it was really important for your skin to look good on camera. Like people couldn't just, now you have apps and all kinds of stuff and they can zip, make you look so perfect. Just from
every filter imaginable. Yeah, every filter imaginable.
Yeah,
but one thing I want to add about your product, because I love the body butter, but I prefer to use the oil when I'm on stage or when I have to, when I
Mhm.
wear dresses or skirts, because
Mhm.
I'm self-conscious about my legs. I will share that. I am so when you see me, because my aunt would always tease me. She would say, "Oh, she called me little one. You look like you're standing in a hole," because I always wear long dresses. Y'all see me. You know, I always have a long dress or a long skirt on, and my aunt would always tease me about that. But it's because I've always been self-conscious about my legs. But I love wearing your oil on my legs because it gives like not only just the little glow and the extra pop, but it
Mhm.
makes my legs feel like they have some color to them too. Like
Yeah.
my legs.
Yes. Like put on a pair of pantyhose, you know?
Yeah, see, I don't like pantyhose. I don't like I know like them. But I love
Me
your
neither.
oil because it make yeah, but it feels good. It feels good
Mhm.
and it looks good. So
Yeah.
that's my commercial. I and that was one of the reasons why I really wanted you to come and share some time with us because I wanted our family members to know as well. Y'all know I share with you. You know I tell you if there's anything. I'm very transparent. You ask me about my jewelry, my hair, my whatever it is, I share. I mean, that's why they make more of it, right? That's exactly why they make it in multiples. It wasn't just for me. So, but I thought it would be so nice for our family members to know that they too can have a glow from
Thank
Super Glow.
you.
But I want to go back to, I'm all over the place, but I want to go back to the jazz series. Do
Mhm.
you all, now I know you were saying that like with administrative stuff, typically Roxanne will handle the majority of that. But do you all
Mhm.
ever have like a family meeting or you sit together and say, so who are we gonna have? Or what
Yeah.
who, so you do,
Mhm.
you do.
Yeah, we do have meetings and they're also very receptive to suggestions, not just from me, but also from guests. There are a lot of people who have, maybe tipped the balance of certain people coming. So,
Hmm.
we listen, like when people send in messages or call and say, like, oh, I really want to see this person, it doesn't fall on, someone just like not listening. Like, I know that sometimes people feel like, they're just kind of throwing a suggestion out into the atmosphere, but, we really take, all of the suggestions seriously from our guests as well.
I love that. I love you
Yeah.
guys have like a suggestion, like a box, an email, not a suggestion
We
box,
don't
but
have
you
a
know what I'm
box,
saying.
but yeah, they can Facebook us. They can always call Roxanne. It seems like most people have Roxanne's phone number, so they can always call her, talk to her, or email us, or Facebook us. We're Unscripted Jazz. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. So we can just say, Roxy, it would really be nice if so and so or such and such, if you could, if they, if you
We
could
listen.
have
We
them.
do. We listen. I mean, like the one suggestion might not do it, but but we take them
Well,
seriously. Yeah, for
I
sure.
tell you one thing. I was like the family. You've heard me say. I go to a lot of the shows, but I love. I adore Samara Joy, and I told her that I just might be. Well, I'm sure she has plenty of stalkers now, but I think I was her very first stalker. I think I
She's
was. I
amazing.
think I was. Oh, she is
Amazing.
amazing. She is amazing, and I was so happy when she was at South.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful it was such a beautiful night. But again, I mean, you've heard me say every time I go, I have a ball. I sit and I order all this food, and then I share it with whoever's sitting next to me or around me. I make
and
friends.
just
I make
and just to be
friends.
clear, Samara wasn't one of our shows, but we are
She
so 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 proud of her. We love her. Roxanne and Dro were at her show,
I,
so I mean, we are rooting for baby girl. Like she's amazing.
and you know the crazy thing, because I went with them. I was there
Oh,
with
right.
Roxanne and Gerald, right? Right. I was there with Roxanne and Gerald. Okay. I was right there with Roxanne and Gerald. So forgive me. You hear me
I
getting
was
all
just listening.
excited.
I was just listening to Moonglow before I came in. I love, 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 love her voice.
Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah,
She's such a sweetheart. She's such a
amazing.
sweetheart. Family, listen, don't let Vanessa and I have all the fun. Join the conversation. Talk to us. Talk to us. We love it when you talk to us. We're talking about the Unscripted Jazz Series at South. We're talking about her father, Gerald Veasley, and her stepmother, Roxanne Veasley. And we're talking about how they work in tandem to bring us such a great experience, such a good time every single time. I say to her that, that's a big machine. It's such a big machine, and you all make it look effortless. Like you really do. Whenever I come, like you would never think that anything ever goes wrong. And I'm sure I'm sure there are some experiences, some instances where at the end of the night you said, "Oh, praise God," because we couldn't
Oh,
have gotten through this. you know.
there are some things that have happened. I mean, always things that, you just never, it's always the things you don't predict, right? One evening, it's the first time I was flying solo, meaning that my father's band wasn't performing, or my father wasn't performing with his band. He was on the road, and I get to the venue, and Roxanne was out of town, and we had Nick Coleon. And when I get to the venue, the power was out. And not only was the power out at South, the power was out on the whole block because a tree had fallen on power lines around the corner. And so I'm like, this is the first time that I'm by myself. And oh my goodness. One, it couldn't have happened with a better artist. I love Nick. I wish he was here with us still. And he is just so cool. I mean, cool as a cucumber. Like I kept updating him, like, Nick, I think I'm gonna have to push to 8 o'clock, instead of 7. Okay, baby girl, it's cool, baby girl. Yeah, just let me know. He just never broke a sweat. Like he was completely okay, rolled with the punches. And the company came and worked feverishly on restoring the power. But the South, the venue, like they couldn't serve food because the power was out. There were a lot of things that were going on that people really didn't know about, but everybody kept cool heads, and eventually everything was restored and the show went on and the night ended on a very high note. But those are like little things that happen where you're just like, what? And sometimes the challenge of being in a small room can be greater than in a big room. Like when we have seating issues, if you have a big venue, a whole lot of seats, sometimes like some stuff is easy, but an intimate space, it's such a blessing, one, for people to be able to see artists like Nick Coleon, artists that, can headline jazz festivals in this very small, intimate space. There isn't a bad seat in the house. And so, the challenge when we were sold out is just kind of playing musical chairs, or, like when you say, I'm dealing with, maybe people canceling and trying to figure out, okay, because we have a wait list and, those kind of things. So they're always, a lot of our problems are good problems. So it's just trying to, figure out how to traverse those very good problems that we have.
You're absolutely right. That's a great problem to have. A great, and we miss Nick. He was such a sweet spirit,
So sweet.
Such a sweet spirit. And I mean, the consummate professional. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, on and off the stage.
Yes.
On and off the stage.
Yes.
We took pictures the last time I saw him, which was at Rehoboth. We were in Rehoboth Beach, and this was just shortly before he passed away. It was just a few months before. But love him from the first day that I met him.
Yes.
He was just, it just felt like I'd known him for years. From the first moment, from the first day, oh, hey, Carol, it was always the same. Oh, hey, Carol, where have you been? And that was at day one. This is Carol. Oh, well, hey, Carol, because he was just that person. He was just and you talk about being talented, and those suits.
The suits, the hats. Oh my gosh, you're about to make me cry. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah,
but
you
can't
amazing.
talk about Nick Coleon and not talk about his suits. You just can't do it. You better acknowledge those suits, because that was Nick. He was always sharp. Always.
The color coordination.
Sharp. What?
Head to toe. He was perfect.
He really, really was. Family that is joining us on our socials. Nasir says he saw Miss Joy at the Berks Jazz Festival and she blew the roof off the place. This isn't
Oh,
she amazing? She is really, really, really. I don't even. There are no words. There are no words. I tell her. I tell her. I send her messages. It's your stalker. She just giggles when I see her. I say she giggles, but I say, you know, I'm telling you the truth. You know I am. Rowena, thank you for sharing with me about being self conscious, girl. Let me tell you something. Well, we'll talk. We're gonna have that conversation one day. There's gonna be a group of us talking about our insecurities and things of that nature. And I know we are all beautifully made. I realize that, but sometimes I have moments and I give in to my insecurities and my legs are that's a big issue for me, a huge issue for me, you know. But thank you, Rowena, for sharing that because that makes me feel better, especially when you all share
You
with
all have
me
a,
about don't well, I got multiple things, but you know,
I
and
do
and,
too.
and you were
Yeah.
talking. Oh my goodness. You talked to me about a number of things, and I will tell you, well, you know, my insecurities about all of those things. Family, I know we're counting down, but we have another commercial break. But stay with us because we've got a few more things to talk about when we come back. So stay with us.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90 or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for? This is your celebration.
I'm Lanish Miller-White from Theater in the X, and I want to wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary.
WURD is a special place for Black voices to feel unbossed, unbothered, and unmatched. I'm Ernest Owens, president of the Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists, and I wish WURD a happy 20th anniversary.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media on air and online at wordradio.com. You know, I got to say it. That's WURDradio.com. We've been talking this evening with Vanessa Veasley, who is the daughter of world-renowned jazz bassist Gerald Veasley, my friend and yours. And we've been talking about how she is one of the curators, along with Gerald and his wife, Roxanne Veasley, of the Unscripted Jazz series. the one thing I did not ask you to share, because I just assume everybody knows about the jazz series. But Vanessa, would you please let our family members who are unaware know when and where the series takes place, and what do we have to look forward to?
Yes, so the weekly unscripted series takes place at South Jazz Kitchen, which is 600 North Broad Street in the Fairmount section of Philly. A wonderful venue owned by the Bynum brothers, who are the best Black restaurateurs in the city. We love them so much and really appreciate them for all that they do in the city of Philadelphia. So we are there weekly, every Thursday, and sometimes our series extends into Friday and sometimes the weekend as well. We have a show tomorrow night. We have Bobby Lyle, and next week we have Kim Waters. We have some great. We're going to end. Go into spring super strong. So we have Bobby Lyle tomorrow. So I guess I'll be seeing you.
I was like, wait, Bobby is there tomorrow? Mr. Lyle himself.
Yes, so he's coming tomorrow. Then Kim Waters is coming for 3 nights next week. And then we have Pablo Batista's Latin Jazz Ensemble rounding out the rest of the month for the last beginning of the month. And then we have Paul Taylor coming. Yeah.
Okay. So
you can check the whole lineup if you go to South's website, southjazzkitchen.com. You can see our full calendar there.
And typically are there typically 2 shows a night, or is there?
It depends.
Okay.
It really kind of is a mixed bag. We're always Thursday, sometimes Thursday, Friday, every now and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and every blue moon Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Nice. Oh my goodness. Okay, and I want to remind our family members about your skincare line, because I want to make sure they know. Well, they could. Okay, so the website too. Yes, please tell them the website.
Yeah.
Tell them all the information about it.
So the website is superglowoil.com. That's superglowoil.com. And on all social media platforms, it's Superglow Oil as well. You reach out with any questions, concerns. We also do customized orders too. So if there's something that you don't see, but you maybe have this idea, because I do formulate products. Like if it were up to me, I'd have 50 products on the website, right? But I have to do what works best for me as a solo preneur. There are only so many things I can do. But if you want to do like a special order, or maybe do something maybe special for as a gift, feel free to reach out and I can help you make that happen as well.
Yeah, well, we've got Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up, because men need skincare products too. Yeah, so Mother's Day is in May, Father's Day is in June, and I love you is every day. So
that's right.
Listen. That I think. Well, y'all know I'm a love bug. I just love love. So that's what I say. But in any event, I love that you came and that you shared as much as you did with us. It's so interesting when I talk with everybody about their individual professions and what we do. We get used to just doing what we do. And when you talk about everything, we're talking like Vanessa, I see you talk to you all the time, and we talk so much about everything going on at Unscripted that I've never really talked to you about the profession for which you're licensed, about you being an esthetician. I've never really talked to you about that. So it's really interesting to talk with you about that. I can't thank you enough for the information that you've shared with us. The little pearls that you've imparted. I will be asking you from now on, y'all, it's so interesting. When she was talking about sunscreen and SPF and all of this, and I started the conversation because I was talking about talking about SPF and all of this mess. There's just so many products out here. There's just so much for us to use. When you were giving the explanation, I believe it was about hyperpigmentation, and you were talking about some of the chemicals that are in some of these products. Let me tell you how I've never thought for 45 seconds about a product that I was going to buy, as it pertained to my skincare. But now it makes sense that you really need to know your body. You really need to be in tune with what's going on with your body, and you need to know what you need. You need to know what your body needs, or what type of product would be helpful to you.
Yes. And, I do want to say one thing that with social media adds like a lot of noise with skincare, because you have a lot of people that are desperate is a strong word, but they really want to be an influencer in the skincare space. So there's a lot of fear mongering as well. So you have to kind of cut through the noise because people have very, very strong opinions on certain things, like, oh my gosh, no one should ever use this product. This product is terrible. But then you'll have people say, well, I've been using it for 5 years and I'm fine, and it works for me, so be cautious of, the things that you hear people have super, super strong opinions about, because sometimes they're just trying to create, an audience. And if something works for you, then by all means, continue to use it.
Yeah. I have to be careful because my skin is sensitive. I will break out. Things burn me easily. Chemicals. I get chemical burns. I just got a chemical burn in a more recent past from eyeliner, or something I use. We have a question. Harry, hi there. Thanks for joining us. He said, what's the SPF number for a chocolate brother?
Hey, chocolate brother. So I always would stick around 30. 30 is great. One, it gives you great coverage for a nice amount of time, and you can always find it. So whether you're running into the drugstore, Neutrogena is one of my favorite brands. They have a Hydro Boost, which is nice and moisturizing, and that comes in SPF 30. So I definitely recommend that. And I know I talked about them before, but Black Girl Sunscreen is also great. Sunscreen for us as well, because it does not leave any cast whatsoever on your skin. And they do, and the woman was asking earlier, and I was like having a little bit of a mind fog, that they do, not only is it, you can use it on babies, they do have one for babies specifically.
They do.
Version of that, yes.
And this is the Black Girl Sunscreen
brand?
Sunscreen. Black Girl Sunscreen. Right. And to remind our family members, just in case you forgot, when Vanessa just mentioned no cast, that means no ash, right? Because some of the products, listen, I told you I did not know. I would not have known what that meant. So we're looking for products. Well, it's good to have a product that reads no cast, so that we know that there won't be any ash on our skin.
Yes. No ash, yeah. A lot of
we
mineral
don't
sunscreens, and sunscreen isn't always cheap. So it really is so disheartening when you hear great things about a sunscreen, maybe an actress or whoever is touting it, and then you go and buy it and you put it on, and then next thing you know, you look gray, and no one wants to, it'll just end up, you won't even use it.
Yeah, no one wants that.
No.
See, well, that's exactly why another reason that I ask you to come, because it's always good to know what products are good for us, good for our skin, and not only helpful, but can help us bring out the natural glow that our skin already has, which is why I say I love your products, because they make me feel pretty. But Vanessa, I want to say once again, thank you so much for coming to spend some time with us, sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your information. We so appreciate you. Rowena had a question: how to tell if you have skin cancer. And I'm not sure if the question, were you asking how do you know? Oh yeah, I guess she's asking, how do you know if you have skin cancer, if there's a symptom?
Okay, so hi Rowena. So diagnosing skin cancer would be out of my scope of practice. So it would be unethical for me to explain like how you would, spot it. But what I would say is, if you do have any moles that are concerning, or any issues in your skin that are concerning, that you would make an appointment with your dermatologist as soon as possible. Not, after it starts growing or gets worse, like make the earlier things can be caught. And even you might also have other concerns that it might not be skin cancer, but it might also be something else that needs to be addressed, as soon as possible. So you want to, if you have anything that looks irregular, anything that's painful, anything that's painful to the touch, irregular in shape, like maybe it looked one way last week and now it looks different, this week or this month, go get checked out. And as an esthetician, if you were my client and you were coming in and I was seeing, making notes, seeing, your skin and see some type of change, I would tell you to go make an appointment with your dermatologist and get something checked out.
Well, I love that. Thank you again, Vanessa. Thank you to the entire WURD family. Special thanks to our producer extraordinaire, Miss Kayla J, for making sure everything runs flawlessly. Family, I say this to you every single show. Remember that we are all in this together, okay? So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Have a great night, and be sure you join me Monday through Thursday, 7 until 9 p.m. for another edition of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I want to say something before I go. Thank you to Ron, to Gary, to Harry, to Rowena, to Joey, to Cheryl, to Joanne, all of our family members, Nasir, all of you, Zen, Gary, Raphael, and to Julie for joining us as well. So, okay. All of that love.
Thank you, Karen.
All of that love. We love it, and we're sending it back to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.